coming out here after 30 years. Yeah, I ain't got nothing, but I'm gonna have something because I'm rich in personality, you know, and I'm rich in love. My family love me, and that's really all that counts. Hey man, shout out everybody out there on Team Banky Pound. Man, I appreciate the love. Hey, man. Y'all see it? It's war. It's war. It's war. Marvin Hagler. Tell me the Hitman Hers. One of the best fights you ever see. First 3 rounds, classic. What's up? What's up? What's up? Big love, man, to everybody out there who rocking with the movement, rocking with the platform, man. It's 2026, man. We trying to get a lot done this year, man. I'm going to need y'all to tap in. I'm going to need y'all to hit that hype button. I'm going to need y'all to like, comment, share, and check your subscription. They own that skullduggery, man. Don't think they not. They will unsubscribe you, and you will not know if you do not check. So do it for me. I appreciate it. Let's go. I want to get this meet and greet popping and hopping. You hear me? Let's get it. Let's go, man. TBP Nation, stand up, man. We out here. Listen, man. I could have swore I did a video on this, but so many people keep asking me this, and keep asking me this. What happens to the child predators in prison, and what happens to the tree jumpers, you know, the dudes that, grape the women? Man, listen, I can't tell you how it is in the feds or how it is in other states and stuff like that. I only been in Virginia penal system. I only been in the state penal system in Virginia, right? Those type of things you will not know about unless somebody knows about it, right? That's it. Or unless the police get mad at you, or the council get mad at you, or the council cool with somebody, might be, sneaking around on the low or something, and give dude this information. I see you hanging with him. Look, do you know he? And then he go tell people, whatever like that. Normally, that stuff don't be out like that. People don't be knowing what dudes' cases is, because that's like some police stuff. How you know what I'm locked up? You know what I'm saying? It's like some police stuff. You know what I'm saying? They justify that in the feds, this, that, and third. You come in the feds, I heard you got, man, let me see your paperwork. What you locked up for? Man, I wish some Joker would ask me something like that. You know what I'm saying? That's probably why I'm glad I won't in the feds. I'm cut different. I don't, certain things like that. Like, what you know what I'm saying? You locked up. What you worrying about what I'm locked up for? You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to be in a system where the police is policing me, and then, jokers is policing me too. I'm not going for that. I don't even like the police policing me. You think I'm going to let a joker police me? Hey, man, what you locked up for? Right now, I'm going to jail for punching you in your mouth. You know what I'm saying? That's what's going to happen when that come to me. But anyway, I digress. I'm saying in the state, it don't happen like that. So, but it do get exposed. So when a tree jumper or somebody like that get exposed, man, it always turn out bad that I done seen. You know what I'm saying? Because it's coming at you, man. Dude's gonna, you know what I'm saying? And that's a double-edged sword, because it's like everybody locked up for something. And I know that's a horrible crime. But everybody locked up for something. So who are we to try to say, you ain't had no business doing this when I did that? You in here for locked up. You in here locked up for robbing, shooting, and killing somebody. Then he in here for jumping on a woman and taking her body. And you saying that you morally, I mean, it's just, I don't know. So I don't get into that. I mind my business, me personally. You understand? But I know dudes who do, and they feel a certain type of way. Now, to be honest, I have found out dudes that I was cool with or thought was okay. And when I found out that, it kind of like threw me off, because I don't know if they did it or not. All I know is that's what they charged with, and woo. So it kind of like threw me off. But man, I done seen some tragic incidents like that, man, when dudes got exposed, man. And dudes had got away with that stuff for years, and then you got some that come straight in and people know. I can remember, like, one of the first ones I remember was, like I said, I think I spoke about him in other videos before. The dude name, let's just say his name was Dre. He was from out Richmond. And they had a whole name of a person out there, man. Like he was like, graping a lot of women. And it was like, they had a name for him, like the Southside Grapist. You know what I'm saying? And come to find out, this joker that was locked up with us, that was in there with us at the time, this early in my bit too, this at Augusta, so this like in the, beginning of my bit. And he was one of them balling, play hard, what? They rumble, bow-legged jokers. They say that's him. Joker was like, man, that's him. And I can remember when that joint came out and it was like crazy and dudes was like approaching him with it, but he was rumbling. He was like, what? Man, you don't know. And he had one of them old voices. You don't know what you talking about, man. Watch your mouth, man. What? Man, no, man. They said, man, you know what I'm saying? You a great business, man. What? And bang, bang. He was rumbling. You know what I'm saying? And he'll pick that thing up. So I think that's a misconception too. I think a lot of people get caught up in thinking because these dudes be doing some deviant crazy stuff, did they soft or they PUSSY. Them two don't go together. That's not always peanut butter and jelly. Some of them dudes is crazy for a reason. They crazy, they doing crazy things, so what would make you think they not crazy in general? You see what I'm saying? Some of them dudes is whacked out. You know what I'm saying? Crazy. And some of them jokers can run, but just being honest. So it ain't like you gonna just run over. And I think a lot of people have been asking me that lately because of the young boy that they say is in the news right now. This 22 years old and is locked up for, raping a 94-year-old woman, which is in itself, gross, gross, disgusting, you know what I'm saying, sick. And you would say to yourself, wow, how? It's only one explanation if you could ask me. Them people like that is sick, man. It's something that's beyond our comprehension because we don't think like that. We think of it like we look at that's gross, that's disgusting, that's nasty, that's somebody's grandmama, what's wrong? They sick. They sick in their brain. You see what I'm saying? And it's nothing that we can understand because we don't think on that level. But I think people that kept asking me that because it was like big, and I go look and I see it. And then it come to find out they say the boy when he was 16, he had a foster parent, and he got into bed with the foster parent, and got inappropriate at 16, and she ended up getting him out and press charges on him. You know what I'm saying? Stop fostering him and press charges on him. And then they said the week, about the 2 or 3 weeks prior to the case that he got with the 94-year-old woman, they got him on camera following another elderly lady home walking from the grocery store. And he was getting ready to pounce on her, but something happened and he stopped in mid and turned around and left, but they got him on camera. That boy is sick. That boy's sick. And they asking me what do I think is gonna happen to him in prison. I don't know because I could just look at him and the way he looked like he's sick. He looked more like he a black guy, but he looked more African, like he got some African descent or something. He looked like he, a rough and tough dude, but looks can be deceiving. He can be soft as toilet tissue. Just because what he doing is sick don't mean he a sucker though. As far as when it comes to fighting and manning up, he could be. He looked like he might get busy. But I'm gonna tell you this for sure. He's gonna have to get busy. He's going to have to, regardless of what he look like, he's going to have to get busy because he is going to be tested. Now, that's a different situation because his case is public knowledge, is world news. So when he comes in, his face has been flashed all over the news. People going to know who he is. It ain't going to be no mystery to who he is. Now, you have some dudes in the penitentiary. Now, I'm going from the penitentiaries that I've been in. You got some dudes in there that's so sick with it their self. When I tell you sick with it, I mean sick with it. You know what I'm saying? They gonna want him. In particular, they gonna want to do some freaky things to him. Knowing that he got a devious, sick mind, they gonna want to do some things to him. He gonna have to stop them. You know what I'm saying? Straight up. And then you gonna have some people that just gonna want to hurt him because of what he did, and they ain't going home, and they got their emotions going with them, and their grandmamas is at home, or their grandmama done passed away, or their mama's still at home, and they think, man, they got jokers out here. I can't get out there and protect my mama, my grandmama. He might be out there doing that stuff, and they want to set an example so it can get back out to the world to say, yeah, this is what happened to you if you do this. It's a subliminal message they're trying to send to the world because they like that's the only contribution that they could give to the world because they locked up and they stuck and they ain't getting out. So they might try to take him out. You got dudes that think like that. You see what I'm saying? So it's a dangerous situation all the way around the board. But he gonna have to get busy. He gonna either have to take somebody out, because he probably ain't gonna see the streets no more anyway. He gonna have to take somebody out to curb the appetite for people to come at him, and or he gonna be broken. Yeah, he gonna be broken. He gonna be either extorted or he gonna be bent over somewhere. That's just how it's gonna go. You know what I'm saying? Because the world knows what he did, and these dudes know it, and they gonna be held accountable when they drop him in a block. When they drop him in the block, and everybody around him, it's gonna be like, dudes know what he in there for, and y'all ain't gonna do nothing. Y'all, all y'all gangsters around here, all y'all talking that talk, all y'all gang members, he gonna have to get busy. You know what I'm saying? He gonna have to get busy. You did, and me personally, I don't care what happened to him. You know what I'm saying? I hope he get the business in or everything they got for him if he out there doing what he was doing. You know what I'm saying? I hope he get the business in. But you know, that's neither here nor there. But like I said, man, I seen a lot of guys in there, man, they come up with that case. Even like when you go back to the white boy, when I said that the white boy that they put around me, right? They was trying to extort and make him make tattoos and stuff, right? And only reason that I even was trying to look out for him was because he knew a dude that I grew up with. Dude that I grew up with, Monty, he said that Monty was going with his sister for 5, 6, 7, 8 years, whatever the case may be. So being that's how you get when you in the penitentiary. It's like association. Like, oh, okay, so he knows somebody I know. You so removed from prison. I mean, from the real world while you in prison, you so removed. There's like you will feel a kinship to that person because it's like, oh, he actually knows somebody that I actually grew up with, that I know, so you like, you want to know how he been or how he was acting or what he, it's strange, but that's just how it is. If you can understand me, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, it kind of like endured him to me because I'm like, boom, he knows somebody that I know. You know what I'm saying? So it was crazy. So I was trying to look out for him, and I didn't know nothing at first. But then they said he had bad charges. This is why they was on him. So then when I found out about the bad charges, then I asked him, and he said it's supposed to be something about he said some inappropriate things to a 16-year-old female. You know what I'm saying? And he was over 21. He said he didn't actually do anything, but it's what he said that made him charged with a sexual something with a kid. That's all they got to know in the penitentiary, because they're not gonna have the exact case unless you go through court and legal. They not gonna have the exact case. They just gonna have the charge, and the charge gonna have minor in there. So when dudes seeing that, then they pressing him. So then when he tried to explain it to me, now I don't know. I'm in a position now. I don't know if he's telling the truth or not. You know what I'm saying? Whether he know how to weave that don't look like he actually, took a girl's body. I don't know this. You see what I'm saying? But this is what the gang members' information, this is what they got. So, oh, you gonna do tattoos, you gonna hold this wine, you gonna hold these knives, you gonna do all this, or either we gonna beat you down or kill you. And he doing it. And I even tell him at the time, because I'm unsure, man, if you willing to fight, I'm gonna keep him up off you. You just gotta be willing to fight. If you willing to stand up for yourself, he said no. He said no. I said, you what? You ain't willing to fight for yourself? He said, no. He looked me straight in my eyes. He said, no, I'm scared. So you want to do tattoos for free. You want to hold these dudes liquor for free. You want to be holding their knives and do all of their bidding. And if you get caught, you going to jail. Are you willing to do all that instead of just fight? If you know somebody going to fight with you and keep the dudes up. He said, yeah. Yeah, Bank, I'm scared. I can't fight. What I supposed to do with that? What I supposed to do with that? So I didn't know what to think. Like I told Jerry was my celly at the time. I said, I don't know now. They make me feel like like he might have did the stuff. Or it might be more to it than what he telling me. You know what I'm saying? And then Jerry with his Jerry. Jerry with his Jerry logic say, oh, he just could be a coward, man. Jerry said you got to factor that in too, man. He just could be a coward. He just don't want to fight, man. So I said, Okay. But that's how that went, you know. And I can remember, man, when I made parole, man. And see, like I said, you don't know these things. It's like I had a homeboy. I ain't gonna call his name. I'm just gonna say D. And D had been locked up, man, since he was like 14, 15 years old. No, about 16 years old. Something like that. Long time. But he was getting ready to go home, and then he made parole. And then I was like, hey, D made parole. And D pulled bras in there. I'm talking about he pulled bras. He had bras. He had one of the longest reign with a bra on the institution that we know of at that time. He had a bra for some years, man. He getting the sack. He had a bra, man. You know what I'm saying? And when he ain't got that one, he got enough. He can get at them bras. Come to find out, they say D was in there for some super duper devious stuff, man, with little kids. And he was like 15, 16, but these like little kids. And I'm like, what? Because when he made parole, dudes was saying like, well, you know he ain't actually going home. Like, what you mean he made parole? He said, nah, he gotta go to one of them joints, man. One of what joints? You know they built them joints now. Like if you got sexual charges or whatever, you gotta go to this joint. You can't never go home. You gotta be like it's like a halfway house for so for predators and stuff like super predators. What type of charges you talking about? You ain't know. No, I ain't know what. And then they started explaining it to me. So, and that was hard to hear because I knew the little youngin for some years, but I couldn't see that. You know what I'm saying? I couldn't see it. And I ain't want to act, funny with him, but I don't know how to act. You know what I'm saying? Because he trying to talk to me before he go home. He trying to get some advice, this and third. Then come find out people say, he not even going home. So it was weird, man. And then I started seeing this stuff come to light because when you make parole, you supposed to be gone like 72 hours. He was like there for like 2 months later. They had me like, did he really make parole? But he was next door. So I'm like, did he? And they were like, man, I tried to tell you, man, he can't go like that. He got to go here. And I'm like, that's diabolical, man. It just blew me. You know what I'm saying? But, what are you going to do? And then, like I say, it's dudes gonna come at you, man. And God forbid you done built up a reputation or people know you or they know you for something and then they find that out, all that's gone. Or somebody owe you or people owe you money, people respect you, people pay you because you are putting in some work. That's dead when they find out you one of them type of dudes, man. Cause that's all they need. People are just looking for a reason not to pay you anyway. You know what I'm saying? And then but they do because they know what's coming if they don't pay you. But now that you got a different tag on your name, they feeling like if you come at them, it's gonna be some people that's gonna rally behind them. Like, man, you ain't gonna do nothing to him, man. You be out here taking draws. So it's just a different dynamic. So it's never a good look. It's never a safe look. If that's what you locked up for, you gonna have some complications. You know what I'm saying? But then, like I say, it just depends on who you are. I know dudes who was locked up for that. They gonna rumble. I just told y'all a story not long ago about the Muslim brother who did all that freaky stuff. You know what I'm saying? Or the 5%. But it's what you willing to do. Them dudes willing to kill behind what they did before they let you violate them. They willing to. Some of them. Some of them just submit that they know that they was out of pocket and now they become extorted. They become somebody else's girl. They become somebody else's property. They become abused and beat up, stabbed up, ran off of every camp they go on. Got to go with a PC. Got to stay in PC. They become that. It's never a be all. It's all that you could just categorize when people say what happened to these dudes in prison. Different things. Different things happen to it. It depends on the individual. How hard is he willing to go? How much he gonna stand on it? How much his lie gonna be believable? Because I ain't never met that one of them say, yeah, I did it. You know what I'm saying? So that's all it's gonna boil down to, man. But it goes down like that in there, man, and you gonna have to answer to it if it comes out. But I know dudes that got away with it for decades and decades and decades before it even came out. And do they lose friends? Do people start looking at them different? Do people start distance themselves away from them? Yeah, that's a stigma in prison when you got those type of charges, man. And if it's a charge with a child, oh man, you definitely gonna have to get busy. Yeah, you gonna have to get busy. And like an older person, like what this young dude is charged with now, they gonna like, you 22 and you out here doing this. The 90-something-year-old women, you following women home from from grocery store. He's a sexual pervert. He's a deviant. You know what I'm saying? And dudes in there is going to exploit that too. He gonna have to rumble when he go to prison. I don't know what state he in. I can't remember, but he gonna have to get busy. I can guarantee you that. He gonna have to get busy. He gonna have to show and prove. Yeah, if he don't, he done. You know, and if he do, he might be done. He might get, the bad end of it. If he get the good end of it, he can lock himself in the penitentiary for the rest of his life. So it's like I say, penitentiary is what, ladies and gentlemen, what? Lose. You can never win in prison. Never. You can never win in prison. You can just survive. You can never win in prison. Only time you win is when you get out. And then you're not in prison no more. So technically, you can never win in prison. Period. You only win when you get out. You never win on the inside. It's just a lighter and a greater form of a loss in prison. I didn't lose that much with this situation. I lost a lot with this situation. That's it. The ultimate is you lose your life. You lose your manhood. But it's only levels of loss in prison. There's no wins for nobody. You understand? But y'all talk to me in the comments. I talk back. Big love, TVP Nation. Y'all be safe, be smart, make good decisions, man. Duck them hooks, man. Summertime coming. I got to get summer ready, man. You dig? I'm working on it. Y'all stay busy.
The banking special. Yeah. Pure delicious. Pure deliciousness, man.
My name is Banky, man. Everybody calls me Banky. That's the name that I got from my grandmother when I was young. I'm coming out here after 30 years. Yeah, I ain't got nothing, but I'm gonna have something because I'm rich in personality, and I'm rich in love. My family love me, and that's really all that counts.